watch me while I sleep. Don't require your belief. Offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound? Like the freeze that's coming down. Barren space where nothing grows. A secret place where no one goes.
Chaos Springs Eternal is a Delta Green actual play. Delta Green by its nature deals with violent themes, disturbing imagery, and horrors beyond our comprehension. Now, if you wouldn't mind comprehending some horrors with us, I think you'll have a good time.
Can you feel me in the fall? Hold me from this epilogue. My hands are frozen in the snow. The eyes of corpses have no glow. Made these chains just for myself. Rambling about my mental health. Demons on this hazy hill. Only my soul is left to kill.
Hello and welcome back to Chaos Springs Eternal. This is Season 1, City of Woe. Oh no.
Whoa, that one stinks.
Aw.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, speaking of stinks, you guys know what weird what weird snack combination I've been turning to a lot lately? And you guys
Oh, no.
I like
Peanut
the fact
butter
that
pickle
I'm
sandwiches.
Nope. You got one word that's right in there.
Pickle.
Nope.
Peanut butter.
Sandwiches?
Peanut.
Peanut.
I've been doing peanut M&Ms with goldfish.
That's a choice.
I thought you were going to come up with something weirder.
Listen.
I'm honestly a little let down that it wasn't some like weird, outlandish thing that people
Yeah.
would have actual violent opinions towards.
Yeah, like peanut butter and pickle sandwiches.
I'm telling you, it's odd.
My brain didn't let me process what you said to protect me.
All right. I mean, honestly, goldfish, depending on the flavor, and peanut butter M&Ms is just like 3 ingredients shy of trail mix.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Although not a lot of trail mixes are heavy on the cheese.
God willing.
You gotta get the lactose unfriendly option.
And the episode title is Born.
Cheesy trail mix?
Cheesy trail mix.
Ugh.
But I know,
don't worry, it's mostly plastic.
Cheese and peanut butter kind of have a weird relationship.
And I don't fully understand it.
I don't
honestly.
either. I don't hate it, but it's odd. Anyways, I just figured I'd throw that out there. You guys have any weird snacks that you've been going to lately?
Any weird snacks?
I mean, I've become kind of obsessed with potato, like the potato wedges that you can throw in like an air fryer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those are bomb diggity, even though they are like one of them is my entire sodium intake for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask, are those pre-seasoned? Or are you hitting them with the custom seasoning blend?
They are pre-seasoned just for my convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like bacon and cheddar and cheese, and you just throw them in your air fryer and they're done in 6 minutes. That's why I like them.
Can you send me what brand you get?
Little baked potato goodness.
Yeah.
Tyler, I know that you like what is it? There's something.
I actually don't snack very much.
Okay, all right.
I eat like 1.5 big meals a day, and that's it.
Now.
Honestly,
It's a pro
the only
snacking
like
group.
I get it. Now I have like a big lunch and like a decent sized dinner, and that's about it. And then in the morning, I eat a Smucker's Uncrustable. That's literally it.
Hey,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
have you seen that you can make
When
your own Uncrustables now? They
Yeah,
have little kits.
not as
I
good,
don't know how to tell you this. You can make sandwiches at home.
but they're different.
can
It's
always
different.
make
Hey,
Uncrustable.
hey, Noah. An Uncrustable is not the same as a regular sandwich.
Brother, I get a knife, I cut a circle around it.
No,
No,
you don't get
squeeze
it.
the
No,
edges.
you don't get the-
completely
nope.
different.
You need the crimping and you need the perfect disc of peanut butter.
Dude, there's something about the ratio of those Uncrustables.
Me lying to my children and feeding them
Please.
what they think are Uncrustables for years.
You just take a glass,
Or
you
the-
turn it upside down, and you shove it on 2 slices of bread. Uncrustable.
It's
everybody.
different. It's different. There's a ratio is different. I will die on this hill. Also, when they're still like a little half frozen, so you get like that little
Yeah.
snap of the jam and still inside of it.
Gross.
Good God.
So you're
recently
eating
went to a
frozen
Bill Murray concert.
Uncrustables in the morning.
Yeah, half frozen.
Oh, okay.
That's my the breakfast of champions. That and
Sure.
3 cups of coffee.
You animal.
We recently went to a Bill Murray concert in Indy, which is like a couple hours from where I live. And me and my buddy in the back seat, on the way back up home afterwards, I was pissed drunk. I drank a lot at that concert. And I sat on something. I was like, what is this? I like pulled it out. It was like 10 degrees outside. And I was like, oh, those Uncrustables that thawed out and then re-thawed in his bag. And
Oh gosh.
I was so excited. I had like 4 of those things on the way back up.
Oh, did they form like a soggy? I guess they're in individual packets.
They're
so
in
no.
packets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
One was a little
That's-
squished.
All right. Not that
Ass
bad.
crustables. Nice.
Speaking
Ass-crustables.
speaking of there you go. Speaking of a little squished, last time on Chaos
Didn't
Springs
even get to
Eternal,
my snack.
waking up,
I see. I understand.
Cyril and Joel were a
Just
little
go fuck
squished.
myself, I guess.
Oh, thank you, Noah. Anyways, where was I at? Last time on Chaos Springs Eternal, we had a little waking up from the Dreamlands in the Pearl and Dagger. Joel and Cyril sharing a normal sized bed, and Marcy getting a bed all to herself. That transition between sleep and wake was kind of like the transition between wake and sleep when you go to bed in the real world. Y'all had pieced together the staff from Tholen and its connection to Ned, or who you call Ned now. Yeah, so y'all had put that connection and then decided to make your way out to the Stone King Hall. The Stone King Hall is the heart of governance. It's an open-air court alive with the hum of the city. We've got sages in flowing indigo robes that whisper among themselves, with armored Stone King sentinels maintaining order, and at the center of there's a massive throne with a unmoving, towering figure with ashen skin veined with ember-like pulses, with a stone crown resting upon his head, who is silent and unmoving for most of the time that you're there, presiding over these petitions with the advisors who are delivering judgments in his name. You see Sage Alzara, who is the head of the College of Sages, with her weathered bronze skins, eyes with flecks of gold, and gray hair in a bun. And you see Sergeant Telfa. Y'all get stopped by a registrar who has you file, and he kind of mentions some of the tensions between the Sentinels and Sages and clarifies, some of the protocol. And it turns out to be a pretty chill place. You saw the job board, which included notes about an incoming Ghast incursion with a job to scout the Ghast camp, with 100 gold reward from Sergeant Telfa. You saw one about cleaning the Forgotten Shrine for 200 gold from Sage Alzara, and you saw one about the Pyre Lens, which was to counter the fire vampire attacks with a 50 gold payout. Now, I don't remember if it was from a specific person or not. But after some time, you got up to ask your query, and you asked about Clementine and the Isle of Sighs, potentially that she might have been involved with the caravan. And they told y'all, Sage Alzara told you that to make a map and overcome the onomakinetic power of the Isle of Sighs, they need dream seed crystals, which were supposed to be coming from the missing caravan, and that the city had used up their dream seed crystals, sort of fortifying their defenses or potentially making offensive weapons against the incoming Ghast incursion, the looming threat. And she had promised to get one of her sages, Sage Bonaventure, to scry on Clementine to see if they could figure out where she was. And Sergeant Telfa added her to the list for the Stone Sentinels to keep their eyes and ears out for. The Stone King had made some strange sound, like y'all heard the grinding of stone on stone, and it sort of stopped everybody for a moment, but then people got back to their business. Yeah, the sergeant kind of invites you to scout out the Ghasts. You learned a little bit about the Shrine and Veiled Paths, which is, the cleaning out that job, finding out that it might be filled with living statues. And then Cyril whipped out some Orgonite. This is like the third or fourth time he's done that, which definitely shocked everybody. The sergeant kind of was like, "You're carrying around demons in your pocket," and the sage Alzara was like, "Well, they're more entities than demons," but both were, gave you the answer that yes, this is a very powerful item. And then Marcy, of all people, suggested maybe using it as a weapon of mass destruction against the incoming ghast incursion, which caused a little back and forth between the sage and sergeant, which was only interrupted by the Stone King making more noise, and then you hearing the voice of the Stone King saying, "Closed Nexus." And that's where we ended last time. Nice little recap. But an important little recap, because this is, again, we talked about sandboxy type of stuff, and I think I've laid out a few, guideposts in the sandbox so that we can figure out where we're going. But upon hearing the voice of the Stone King, everyone has a visible reaction. What are all your humans?
Human is
A solid 15.
65.
56.
Okay, so Marcy kind of looks around and is like, well, that was strange. And then Joel and Cyril, when you look around, so I sent you all an article about this thing in North Texas, and I sent it to you because I went to a similar thing when I was in elementary school. Let me pull up the name. It is called Enterprise City.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like a field trip that we did. It was like a long, half-day field trip that we did, that we went to this place and we got to pretend that we ran a city. And I was, a cashier at some place, and you had to keep track of the money that you made, and then you could go spend that money other places, and someone got elected mayor and all of these sorts of things. But at the end of the day, we were just kids sort of pretending to do these things. And when the Stone King speaks, Joel and Cyril, what you have this sudden flash of insight into is, as you're looking at, Sage Alzara and Sergeant Telfa, who are arguably the two most important people you've run into, you have this flash of wait a second, these are just sort of children playing at this game. And you've had some indications of this here and there in Inquinoc, where people are like, yeah, it's like kind of playing it. I mean, for lack of a better term, it's kind of like playing dress up. And you see in both of their faces just a flash of concern, maybe confusion, shock. There's it's unexpected, their reaction to this. The other thing that happens when the Stone King speaks is that everyone needs to make a sanity roll.
Oh boy.
This is 0-1. So
9. Oh, Marcy.
Okay. Well,
why?
Joel gets a 9 under 51 for a regular success. Cyril gets a 44 under 71 for a critical success, meaning he takes no sanity loss. Joel and Cyril both take none. And Marcy with a 55 over 48. That is a critical, so you are going to take the full, and you're going to take one extra.
A fumble, if you will.
Yeah. A critical fail. So, that knocks you back down to 46 sanity.
I thought it was... Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. I know, normally you just take the max, but for the Stone King, you take a little extra. And perhaps Marcy, having not seen this in people's faces, was unprepared for sort of the psychic effect of hearing this voice and then the fallout from it. Because after the Stone King speaks, everything is still and quiet. No one is moving. Everyone is looking at the Stone King as if anticipating more to be spoken, but no one is reacting. So y'all are free to act as you will.
Well, what the hell do we do? Sorry, go ahead. If you know what.
No, I was just gonna. I mean, there are people nearby us, right?
Yeah, there's all sorts of people.
Okay. Mr. Stone King, you want us to close the Nexus? We're trying to do that. Is there any other words you can give us that would be helpful?
The veins of deep ember red that sprawl across his ashen skin pulse red, but there's no movement or sounds made from him.
Okay, I take it that that's a no. Judging by everyone's look on their face around here, this isn't something that happens very regularly. So, what the fuck's going on, y'all?
Sergeant Telfa sort of takes a step back, and he almost puts his arm on you to steady himself, and he says, I've been coming to Inquinoc for a while now, long time. I'm one of the longest residents that I know of, and I've never heard him speak. I don't know. I don't know what this means.
I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I mean, before we came here, we were trying to do something similar to what he had intoned. So I guess we got to try to finish that. Maybe we can do something on this side to do it. We would just need to. Do you know of any? I don't know what the plural for nexus is. Do you know of any nexi here?
Sage Alzara turns to you and she says, I mean, any place that we overlap with other planes of reality, that kind of is a nexus where the Dreamlands can bleed in. That's not really my expertise. That's, well, we've got sages who are dedicated to that. Trying to think who would be. Sage Althum might be the expert in some of those nexus, but we aren't sure what all it means if they just how they exist. You know what we think that we know that it means the meeting of the Dreamlands and the real world, but we don't know if they move, if they are created, if they just pop up spontaneously. They're basically a mystery. So I don't know how I don't even know how you would go about closing one of them.
Yeah, that's where we've been struggling as well. We don't quite know how to shut anything down. We know things are open, but we're trying to figure out ways to get it shut down, especially in our neck of the woods. So I don't know, maybe there's something, maybe if we stay here long enough, something will come up. But I mean, I guess we're honored to have the Stone King speak to us. I guess it's kind of a nice, I mean, he kind of sees we're doing something important, I suppose.
Yeah, I would say that probably means you are doing something important. So
cool.
You can
then you'll give us all the support we need, correct?
I mean, we haven't been exactly withholding. What
I hear you get off on that.
What sort of support would you be looking for? We are, again, she looks at you, she's like, everyone here is a volunteer. So we're already spread a little bit thin. That's why, we've got jobs up there that I've raised the bounty on, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and still haven't gotten people to go clear it out.
Right.
I mean, what do we want here? Mossy, what do we want here? Are there things that we need from them?
Well, I thought you wanted the map, right?
Well, we need a map for sure.
Well, I mean, the number one thing we need are the Dream Seed crystals that were with the caravan and are not here. Now, we would also appreciate if you guys wanted to go take care of some of these threats.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, there's something about you that's special or important. Since the Stone King's spoken to no one else for as long as any of us have been around.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Why he do that?
Yeah.
If I knew, I would tell you.
That's fucked up. It's really fucked up. Like, it's not on you. It's just like the significance seems it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I would say it's significant.
Marcy, I'm going to be honest. With what's been going on, a dude who sits on a throne talking to us is not nearly as high on the list as it should be.
I don't know. It just got me, dude. It just got me.
That's fine.
Like, I know we were sent here by a somehow bigger Glomus, but like, fuck.
Yeah. We need, what we need, I guess what we need from y'all is a map, and we need Clementine. We need to know what her status is. That's right, Joel, right?
Yeah.
So we need to go get that.
So let's do these errands that they have for us. These things that they need from us so that they can give us the things that we need to maybe shut down some portals and Nexi and Nexapedes. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Nexis.
Nexi sounds right.
Is it Nexis? Nexuses?
Nexapodami.
Nexapodima. That's what I thought. I thought it was of Greek root.
It's a murder of Nexus.
It's a parliament of Nexus.
Actually, when you get enough together, it's a Johnny Depp of Nexus.
Oh boy,
It's insane.
God.
I can't believe that they're so
I hate you.
liberal with it down here.
Yeah. So, I mean, so let's pick one of these. What would be the one that was most beneficial? Maybe those crystals.
Yeah.
Let's go find the crystals.
I think either we do that or we do one of the other ones. Maybe the cleaning of the
shrine.
Because if we can get a little scratch to be able to get something to help us outside of these walls, wouldn't be a bad option.
That would be incredibly helpful to me for my work. I go to the shrine infrequently, but it's one of the only places where I can perform the rituals that I need to do that help with some of the divination. So that actually may help with scrying on your sister. So if we're unable to retrieve any information on her, then clearing out the temple might allow me to attune there and perform some of the rituals that might improve our scrying abilities. And I'd appreciate if you scouted out the gas incursion, just because that's one of the biggest threats facing the city. And so, if you wanted to maybe put yourself in the good graces with, let's say, everyone in the city, you could kind of be like, yeah, we're the ones who are helping prep for, this incoming invasion and help, providing military intelligence.
Have you sent anyone else to talk to them?
Well, we have the jobs up on the board, so anyone can. But to be honest,
So no.
well, we can't enforce that. We can't force people to go, but we can entice them with material goods.
Right. Sorry, I for a moment forgot that this was all volunteer led.
Yes. Everyone here is a volunteer. Everyone here is from the real world. And when she says that, she looks back at the Stone King and she's like, well, everyone that most everyone. The ones who I do know their origin all come from the real world. And so they all are here because they choose to be here, and usually because they display some aptitude to be here. Not a lot of people are here accidentally.
Okay. Well,
Right.
Yeah. As much as I would like to be the kings of the city, I guess, according to Sergeant over here, I'd rather clean up a shrine, if I'm being 100% honest, so we can figure out what's going on with Clementine.
I think
And
at the
maybe
very
we
minimum,
can do that on the back end, or we can do what Mossy suggested and just nuke them with one of the demons.
It was not a sincere suggestion. It was not a sincere suggestion.
I didn't hear you slash s at the end of it.
I'm just saying it is a suggestion.
I want to be clear.
Right. We could just turn
JK.
the outside of
JK.
Equinox into a sheet of glass with a demon nuke by Marcy's suggestion.
Listen, if the Gug comes at us, I want you to pull the pin on that thing like a fragmentation grenade and chuck it at it
Okay.
and see what happens while we're running.
Oh. Well, I want to see what happens.
You can't just throw it. You have to actually extract the demon and then you
Sorry,
can
are you
channel
holding?
that.
Are you holding it?
No,
you
but
holding
what I'm saying is, it's
Are you
you can't
holding?
just chuck it at them. He's like, hey, I'm holding if you're holding. You know what I mean?
Are you,
No.
Your pant leg is
Pulls
up.
out his
Your
own
pant leg is up. I don't-
Prism.
No. But it's not as simple as just chucking it at wherever you want to go. You have to channel it through various arcane means.
And you know these? Do you know these means? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. That's kind of why I came to the Stone King. Is that I need to know how to pull those out. My goal here is no longer it's to get home, because we don't quite know how to do that yet. And I guess it's to close the Nexus, but it is also to learn how to manifest.
Yes. We have an orrery. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
It's a model of the solar system, and we have a way to place the container into the orrery and draw it out through the motion of the planets, and we can channel that in to this missile, if you will. And he says missile, and he like picks up, and it's kind of like one of those torpedoes that you toss in the pool that go like down and fast, and you chase after him. And he's like, and we have we can target these. We can launch them from pretty far away and very accurately hit where we need to go. It's actually what we use the Dream Seed crystals to perfect, because we've done that before, but we've not had demons around for a little bit to draw out of anything lately. So,
got it.
It's fortuitous that you've come.
So are the demons aren't a renewable resource that you're making weapons out of?
No, it's pretty much a one and done thing.
Okay.
So the fact that you have two means that you could still let us extract one, and then you got a demon to spare.
That's on you, Cyril. That's I don't think we should, because that thing was terrifying. But maybe it was the location amplifying it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see how far this gets us. That's kind of real last resort for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I care about keeping people okay, but not that much.
Wow.
Awesome. Sage Alzara says, "Well, if you do want to tackle the temple first, I can provide you a map to the shrine, and if you'd rather pursue the caravan first, well, you're kind of on your own. We could try scrying, but again, one of the things that we need to do to improve our scrying is to clear out the temple. So it would be a lesser % chance, say, if you were like to roll a dice, that we'd be able to figure out anything about
fucking nerd. Oh my god.
I don't blame them one bit.
Okay.
Listen, so it sounds like, I don't know about you two, but I'm picking up that the temple is the way to go to start.
Let's go do that.
You could also investigate the Pyrolands. I don't want to railroad you into making a choice, Sage Alzara says.
You're acting really suspicious right now, Sage. I think, even with all that previous knowledge, a Pyroland sounds a little scary for me right now, and I have a spear and I'm poor. I'd like something a little more beneficial.
Okay. That's
let's go do the shrine. Marcy, you good with that? Yeah, let's go do that.
Absolutely.
okay. She snaps her fingers, and one of the acolytes comes up and produces a scroll from within his the sleeves of his robes, and she hands it over to you, and she says, "This is a map leading out of Inquinac that goes directly to the shrine. So The Forgotten Shrine, again, the most likely inhabitants are the living statues. They are not a threat, unless something's happened, but they like to play games. So figure out their game and drive them out if they're there. And if they're not there, come let me know. You know, you could do a little light dusting, but make sure nothing's broken. If anything's broken, report to me so that I can bring the supplies and we can be all ready.
Okay.
Got it.
She hands you a map.
I'll take it.
All right. So, to get to the Shrine of the Forgotten Paths, the Forgotten Shrine of the Paths, or however I called it. What did I call it? Hang on.
Path of Forgotten Shrine.
Of
Too
Shrine
weird.
Forgotten
Looking at
Path.
it, looking at it, looks like it's the back menu of like a sit-down fancy restaurant, but it
Okay.
was done in crayon.
Shrine
That's
of Veiled Paths is
The
what I
Shrine
have.
of Veiled Paths. That's what
This
it
is
is.
an Applebee's menu.
Which
This is a
Like the 2
Wendy's.
for 20.
which is also the Forgotten Shrine. So that's why. The Shrine of Veiled Paths is its real name, but it's colloquially become called the Forgotten Shrine because only Sage Alzard goes there, from what you can tell. So,
Right.
this map, I will need... Marcy, you said you have the map?
I will have the map.
Okay, so if you guys want to head out of the town, I'm going to need a roll.
Okay.
Okay.
I could either go with a survival roll, a navigate roll, or what other roll would be good? I think survival or navigate are kind of the two.
Understood. So, fellas, what are your survival and or navigate rolls?
I do have a 25 in navigate.
That's astonishing.
I love these weird little choices I made when building Mercy's just like, yeah, this seems okay.
Yeah, I'm a 10 in both.
I've got a 10 in survival.
All right, Marcy, you roll that navigate for us there, sweetie. Don't fail it.
Can I have them both look over my shoulder and just kind of go, just like, will it help or mostly hinder at this
We
point?
have 10.
Like, this is me asking.
I would
yeah,
say,
like,
if both of them are looking over your shoulder and you've got the map, I would be willing to give you, I think, a very generous plus 20.
I
Very
would have
so.
taken a 5%, Dan.
Yeah, but I think, I do want you to get there, but I'm curious when you will get there.
You got it.
Okay, well, with the bonus, with if you will be kind, a 5% bonus would get me to a 30 is the DC.
I said-
rolled
I
a
said-
26.
Oh, yeah, I said 20%.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
good. All right. So,
I was willing to spend the luck if you actually just were just like, no, actually, no, fuck you.
all right.
Fuck you,
Well,
Noah.
with the 26 under your modified 45, you guys travel out through the what you would assume is west entrance of Inquinoc. Let me ping it here on the map so you can see. Man, this map looks so good, huh? So you go all the way from the King's Court out the west gate, based off this map, working your way just south of the Twilight Bazaar, just north of the Tower of Knowing. But you exit the gate, and upon exiting the gate, again, we've got two Stone King Sentinels who stand guard outside of these impossibly tall doors, and they nod as you begin leaving. And with the 26, it takes some time. I mean, it's a a little bit of a trek, and you've got only a handful of landmarks. Certain copse of trees, a small hill with a cave that is just too small for anyone to shelter in. These things written out on the map, and there's even more or less a sort of walking path. And as you walk along it, it almost feels like a bit of a pilgrimage as you pass by these landmarks and step in this path that you assume has been trod many times before, although it is weather worn, and so at times you definitely lose sort of the vision of where it is before it picks back up again. And mostly, sort of this sandy dirt, almost like a half desert, as you travel through. But before long, you guys see this temple, this shrine. And as you approach it, you notice that yours is not the only path that leads to it. There are 3 or 4 paths that appear to converge towards the front of this, temple. It's relatively plain stone. You've got a few steps leading up to big wooden doors. It's got wide glass windows that are thick, sort of leaded windows, so that you can't really see inside. And as you approach the threshold, you notice that one of the doors is cracked, probably like 2 fist widths open. And that's what you see. It's a great big stone building with thick glass windows.
When you say big old stone door, are we talking like...
The doors are wood, sorry.
Okay. But like a normal sized door, are we talking like the kind of bigger double door chapel style?
Yeah, it's the double door chapel style. So
Okay.
You've got, as you're facing it, a left door and a right door, and they're both probably, 8-10 feet tall, and 5-6 foot wide.
Okay.
And the right one is cracked open.
Got it. Well, fellas, do we just want to like get in there, or do we want to check around first?
We should 100% look around before entering in any building in any realm we're in, Joel.
I mean, that's...
Joel, I've never... I don't remember... No, never mind.
Fine.
I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair, we walk in cautiously to places that we go to in our hometown.
Yeah. That asylum is scary, Joel.
Well, if you guys want to make any sort of roll, you can do that.
May I make a search roll? Would it be search or an alertness if I'm just kind of like scanning, keeping an ear out?
So I would lean towards search.
Then I will give a search roll. Ooh.
Oh, so close.
It was so close.
So close.
So close. 68 or 64.
So close.
What if I... No, I'm not going to do it. I don't have that much luck.
And a $5 bill plus one.
I don't have that much luck. Can't do it.
You said there were like windows on this building?
Yeah, like the thick stone or the thick glass, like lead glass windows.
Yeah, can I like creep up to one and look inside?
Yeah, you can do that. It's pretty tough, though, I'll say. You'll definitely have to succeed at this roll to get anything.
Like a stealth roll?
No. I mean, like you could stealth up if you wanted to try and approach in a stealthy manner. Sure.
But just looking inside would be another roll?
Yeah.
Okay, well, nope. I did not do that stealthily.
So you're at the window. You don't know if you have alerted anything on the inside because it's very difficult to see anything on the inside. If you want to make a search roll now that you're at the window, you can attempt that.
That's a success.
Okay. So what you can discern from the window is not as much as you'd probably hope. But what you can tell is that there is like rows of pews, probably wood pews, that lead up to some steps at the front that appear to lead to maybe like a second level or like maybe a rostrum where someone might give a sermon or perform some sort of obeisance up in front of several rows. You can't see any lights in there, so it's only slightly lit from the light that's streaming in through windows along the sides, front and back. Yeah, with a 24 under 54, I would say that you also see what appear to be like figures of some sort. It's really hard to tell. They're not moving, and so it's hard to tell if these are maybe pillars that are in there, or some places have like maybe a fountain or a statue of some sort. You see maybe 3-4 of them in there.
Okay, that's what Cyril's doing. He'll just wait for people to getting done.
Marcy, do you want to make any sort of roll as you approach?
Yeah, I would just God. No, I think I'll just approach.
Okay.
If it doesn't seem like anything immediately is going to jump out at us or is watching us actively, I think, yeah, she would just approach.
Yeah, I think the one thing that you all get from your sort of base search is that there's nothing that appears to be actively working, against you right now. There's nothing moving around. There's nothing that spying you or even reacting to your presence yet.
I start making way over to the door. You said it's kind of cracked open. I just want to peek inside of it, do a quick scan, look up to the top of the door, make sure there's no bucket full of spiders or something.
You got spider bucketed.
Yeah, you've got a base search of 64. So as you poke your head in, you don't see any immediate threats. But when you do poke your head in, you do see. Well, I guess I can move you all over to this now, because you do see the stairs at the other end of this that lead up to some sort of rostrum, or where people might give a sermon or maybe perform some sort of obeisance. And down, and you see the rows of things, and then you also see these statues, and they're spooky, y'all. They're spooky statues. They are. Hooded in these brown robes, and they've got these deep sunken eyes that appear to maybe even sparkle as if they are filled with crystal, and they've got these bony jaws with visible teeth. They do not react to you poking your head in, but they are they have an ominous vibe about them. Yeah. And when you peek in and see them, you do need to make a sanity roll.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
These things are fucking horrific. Success. 25 under 51.
Success.
All right, that's another 0-1. Marcy taking another little hit of sanity.
It's a bad day for Marcy.
I like the idea that Joel pops his head up and looks, and he's like, "All right, I guess nothing up there." Jesus, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. So that's what you see inside there. You might intuit that these are perhaps living statues.
No.
Yeah, Joel will kind of stand up. Open the door the rest of the way. Didn't see anything, guys. I guess let's just get in there.
You didn't see anything? You just saw the creepiest thing ever.
Well, I saw the statue. Yeah, I didn't see a trap. Cyril, I didn't see a trap.
All right, I'm just saying,
Marcy is actively just pointing at it.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
What the fuck is that, Joel? What do you mean?
Pretend you've been
nothing
here before.
to you, Joel.
Listen, we knew these were going to be in here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm getting heated over this. Yes, they're horrifying. I agree.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be real.
That's like if you went to the fucking cathedral and the gargoyles were just at the front door.
Yeah.
I mean,
something tells me they're not supposed to be there.
As you all sort of make your way inside the door, you see that the one that's standing closest to the stairs tilts his head slightly as you enter, and his bony jaw and teeth appears to twist into some sort of smile. And the other three that you've now spotted across the rest of the chapel, they all sort of move behind it as it begins moving across the floor. You don't see its legs and arms are not moving. It is almost like it is rolling along or being propelled by some unnatural means, almost hovering across the floor as it comes closer to you. And as it approaches you, it says, "Welcome. We are living statues. This is our shrine." And you see in his hands, it's got this like stone bowl that's got like some sort of lid on it.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Nice to meet you, living statues. We've come to see if there's any way we can get you to move on and find another forgotten shrine to take hold in.
You want to be statue too? He asks. And he says, you have to win game. You play game?
We don't want to be a statue, but I mean, if playing the game gets you out of here, yeah, we got time.
You see his smile, which was already kind of wide, split his face more as he smiles wider, and he says, "We play game. You lose, join us. You win, we leave."
Oh!
All of us?
One by one, if needed. And he looks back and he appears to be counting each of you, and he counts, 1, 2, 3, and then he like takes his arm and points to himself. 1, he turns and points 2, 3, 4. And he says, "Not fair." And then one of the other ones that's in the back crumbles
Just
into dust.
kills him. No!
He says, now is even. You want to play? And he takes the lid off the stone bowl, and in the stone bowl, there appear to be some dice, these weird dice with different etchings on it. And what? He says, so it's got 3 dice in there that appear to be regular 6-sided die. And he holds it out to Joel, as you appear to be the leader, and he holds out the bowl with the dice to you.
Joel will look at it, and you just put the one finger up. It's like, we just got to huddle real quick, and I'll come back to the other 2. Huddle up, hands on shoulders, bring them in.
What the fuck?
All right, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. These things scare the shit out of me now.
They just killed that guy. I mean, I'm glad they're trying to be fair, but they just fucking killed that guy.
So, like, the only way we're going to do this is to play the game, right?
I think so.
What the fuck?
Anybody know how to cheat at, like, craps?
I'm going to be honest. My uncle tried to teach me how to cheat at craps, but I did not care for it.
Understood. So,
I mean, I am nimble. I don't know how to cheat at this game, though, because we don't even know what game we're playing.
Ooh, that is very true. I mean, I can't be that different. If you know how to, finagle a dice roll, you can finagle any dice roll, We got to do it, though. This is the only way home. We got to do it.
Yeah, we got to do it.
I mean, the only way that we know of.
So then let's assume it's the only way home.
Okay, so is he going to kill us if we fail, or is it just like we have to leave the temple?
No, we become the statues.
Yeah, we become the statues. One by one.
Yeah. So
shit.
The goal is
any one of us.
Don't become ugly.
Not it.
Fuck. Fine, I'll do it. And Joel will like throw his hands up out of exasperation. Just like,
get fucked.
Yeah, fine. What's the game? What are we doing?
He holds out the bowl with the dice and sort of like raises it up to you.
A single stone eyebrow raises slowly.
What is your favorite color?
What is... Okay.
God damn.
This is already part of the game, isn't it? I'm not... If I pick up a dice, something bad happens, huh? Is that it? Or do I have to roll the dice?
You have to roll the dice.
I'll pick up one
of
the
What
dice.
are on the dice? Like, what do the dice look like? Are they just normal 6-sided die?
So instead of having pips, they have like little scratch marks. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But there's not like skulls or
No.
like
They're numbers.
blood or.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll 3d6 and roll 20, please.
Oh boy. I mean, good looking out, finding out what the rules of the game were before you start rolling dice.
I asked. I asked. I got a 6, a 5, and a 2 for a grand total of 13, if that matters.
And before he goes, you wanted all ones, idiot, stones you.
It's just stone statue. Yahtzee, he yells Yahtzee.
I honestly, if I got all 3 of a single number, I absolutely would have.
Well, there's rules for that. But as you roll that, you see him like pointing at each of the dice and sort of mouthing the numbers, and you see his face go from a smile to like a kind of like a stressed, almost frown. He's trying to keep a smile on, but he appears to be somewhat in distress, and he says, okay. And then he picks him up and he rolls. And he counts the dice. So you rolled a 6, a 5, and a 2. He rolled a 6, a 3, and a 3. And when he rolls that, he shakes his head and he says, a path that loops is no path at all. And he picks up the dice and rolls them again. And he rolls a 2 and a 2 and a 5. And he looks more concerned. And he says, a path that loops is no path at all. And he picks up the dice and rolls them again. He rolls a 2 and a 2 and a 6, and he says, a path that loops is no path at all. Oh my god!
What the fuck?
He rolls a 4, a 4, and a 6, and he says, a path that loops is no path at all.
Keep saying it.
Okay, he rolls a 1, a 4, and a 3, and he turns his face into a twisted frown, and he says, a journey begins poorly. And then he stops rolling and holds out the bowl to you again, Joel.
I thought you were going to say he just explodes into dust in front of us.
Oh my god.
Leans over to Cyril.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know what's going on. I don't understand the rules of this game.
I can't believe I rolled so many doubles.
I can't believe it either.
Doubles.
What does this mean?
Dude, I was getting frustrated for the poor bastard. Hang on. So I'm putting in our chats. Doubles.
Was that bad?
Equals
doubles looping
path is no path at all, which is a reroll.
Right.
That's just what I'm piecing together here potentially.
So it's not like Monopoly. You don't want doubles.
So you don't want doubles, but you don't. What happened? I mean, did you win?
I think so, because he seemed pretty not happy. I think we want high numbers, but no doubles.
The same, but not the same numbers.
Yeah. So I will, keeping that in the back of my head. Joel will grab the dice and roll again. I got a 1, a 2, and a 5.
A 1, a 2, and a 5.
And you see him smile, and he says, "A journey begins poorly." And then he picks up the dice and rolls, and he looks at it. It's a 3, a 1, and a 3, and he says, a path that loops is no path at all. And he rolls again. Oh my god!
Brother, you gotta find a fucking path.
This guy's looping.
For the love of God.
He's got a 3, a 3, and a 5. He says, a path that loops is no path at all. And he rolls again.
Is this
oh my
god. Therapist feels? It's just loops. It's just cycles.
It's all loops.
A 1, and 1, and a 3. He rolls again. A 3, and a 1, and 5. Okay. He goes, a journey begins poorly. And he appears to have
Monopoly, he'd be in jail.
He appears to have no strong reaction to that, and he holds the bowl out to you again.
Okay, a journey begins poorly is a 1. If there's a 1.
Okay, what is the purpose? Can you explain what the purpose of this is? Because this is.
He looks at you and he goes, "These are the rules of the Forgotten Path. If you want us to leave, you have to win."
No, I get that, but like, what are the rules of the game? Like, how do you start on a path that's good, and when does it end?
He holds out the bowl to Joel, and he says, "Roll.
Boy.
It's your turn."
All right, Joel will shrug and just roll the dice. Getting a 6, a 3, and a 5, and Joel looks at him in his scary eyes and confidently, but unsure internally, says, he says something along the lines of a chosen destination, strong and mighty. Because I got a 6, a 3, and a 5. So he's hoping maybe if he bullshits his way through it, that a 6 is somehow good in this path.
He looks at you and he says, paths must be completed in 3 steps. And he rolls a 6 and a 6 and a 3. And you see him as he rolls, his face splits into this amazing grin. And then as he sees the second 6, it falls into this almost melancholy just frown. And he says, a path that loops is no path at all.
Oh.
And he rolls a 1, a 5, and a 5.
Fucking God, Dan, please.
A path that loops is no path at all. What are the odds on this? It can't be. I have to be beating the odds here, right?
You gotta buy a lottery ticket.
It's funny.
All right. He rolls again. A 6.
Oh my gosh.
A 6, a 3, and a 3. Path that loops, no path at all. A 5,
There
a
we
2, and a
go.
6. And he smiles. And he says, paths must be completed in 3 steps. And he holds the bowl out to you again.
My head hurts. I've had a migraine all day, guys. What the fuck did we do this for?
Just roll the dice. I made this as simple as I could. I know it's a little bit esoteric, but the rules are actually very like.
A path that loops is no path at all. Yeah. I got a 4, a 4, and a 5.
They've got
I got a 2, a 4, and a 6.
No,
Okay, you get a 2 and a 4 and a 6, and he
Is that your 3 steps?
He says, "You are nearly there," and he like nervously picks up the dice. And
You've
okay.
given the statue
Oh my gosh.
anxiety.
2. He says 2, 1, 2, a 1, and a 4, and he says a journey begins poorly. And then he holds the dice up to you not one last time. We'll see. It could be one last time.
A 6, a 4, and a 5.
Oh,
We call that a straight where I come from.
He looks at you and he says, path must be completed in 3 steps. And he picks up the dice and rolls a 4, a 3, and a 1. And he says, a journey begins poorly.
I
And
feel like you're cheating.
I don't. The odds of this, I went and I did some of the like basic calculations on how this would work, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of a push. Like, and I've got some mechanics in. If you guys lose something that you could do, like fudging rolls or anything, and so as he looks at this, he says, you see him like heave his chest up and sigh, and he says, "You have found the true path. Walk it well." And he kind of nods to the other statues, and they again do this sort of like weird floating, rolling across the ground as they join him. And if you part, they push their way out of the doors, and then you see them travel on the paths. As the 3 or 4 paths that came to the shrine, you see them each branch off into a different path and begin making their way across the Dreamlands. And now you are in this empty, except for a crumbled living statue that is now all dust. That might be actually eerily reminiscent of when your sister disappeared into a pile of nothing.
Oh.
Little call back there.
I think on the way out, Joel will say something.
And sorry, as he leaves, he hands you, he produces from his pocket a small stone die and gives it to you. And this represents, in the game, the ability to roll a 10 for your tens place anytime that you want.
Oh.
For
Very
winning
nice.
For winning this inscrutable game. I'm amazed that at no point did we roll a natural triple.
Yeah.
We got close a couple times.
Yeah, because so I mean, to give you an idea, the whole point of the game
every time.
Yeah,
Dan came close every
came
single
close so
time
many
he rolled.
times.
Next session is just Dan explaining the full rules of this game.
I mean, it's literally you just roll 3d6. If 2 numbers match, you re-roll. If you get a 1,
It resets.
then if you get a 1, no matter what, that's your number. And if you get a 6, no matter what, that's your number. Right?
Oh, so we need highs.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does 3? What do 3 get you?
So 2, 3, 4 doesn't matter. Those only exist so that you have like some room to not get doubles.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do 3 of a kind get you?
Oh, if you did 3 of a kind, you have to leave the game, and one of the other ones of you would have to take the place, and the other 2 statues would begin taking the dust and sort of forming it into a statue that kind of looks like you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have preferred to not.
we didn't find that one out.
So
what would he have done if he got all 3? Is it just he turns back to a human? He's like, oh, thank God.
nope. If he turned all 3s, he would turn into dust. So
That'd be really funny. That would really, if he was the first one to roll, it'd be like, pow, it turns to dust right then and there.
I really was looking forward to this, and so we are going to wrap it up here in just a minute. But I was really looking forward to this because this is one of those things where they're so creepy, but I love the idea of them having this sort of almost nonsense game that
100%,
they are
100%
100% bound by. Because to me, this is what the Dreamlands are, right? Like
This is some
these
dumbass shit I would have made up with my brothers.
Inscrutable rules by these horrific monsters that you just have to deal with. And so we're gonna close this week with you guys standing in this, again, nearly empty, forgotten shrine, having cleansed it according to Sage Elzara's request, and that you have finished the Shrine of Veiled Paths. Yeah, Shrine of Veiled Paths. There you go. So, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Thank you once again for tuning in to Chaos Springs Eternal, a Delta Green podcast. Shout out to Arc Dream Publishing, who makes Delta Green. They've got lots of great content coming out. Shout out to Ponzer Kings for Cocytus, that's our theme song. And shout out to Hideous Hiss for our background music. Make sure you check our show notes. I've linked Hideous Hiss Patreon. If you'd like to contribute to Chaos Springs Eternal, you can rate and review us on iTunes or your podcast platform of choice. Leave us a 5-star review. Send us an email. We've got an email in the show notes, and with an NPC idea, and we'll toss them into our homebrewed campaign.
Well, if you give me 4 minutes, I can have the website listen to it.
Oh my gosh. Stop talking now. All right, 10 seconds of silence.
All right, I'll read it here in a second.
Oh my god.
Does it start on page 1?
The robot's reading it to me. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I got to get my Audible up. I don't read anything by myself.
All right, hang on.
Are we done checking?
10 seconds, Mark!